That's what I mean. We have to get rid of it. We can't just keep it.
That's why we're making money on it or something.
Well, they think we are, according to the comments.
Oh, I'll take it somewhere. All right. Good morning, everyone. Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh. That was...
School.
All right. So do we have any additions, subtractions, corrections to the agenda?
I don't have any.
I do not either.
I don't have anything.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Page 3. On number 2 under highway, motion second to approve resolution, blah, 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 gravel tax transfer. And the word help in there kind of struck me as a little bit. To help finance, to offset, just to finance.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
just to finance.
Just to
I just didn't
finance,
like
yeah.
the word help in there.
Yeah. It's
Help finance CASA 7,
Page 3.
page,
page 3.
Right here.
just,
I think so. And then under sheriff on the same page, I think Celebrate, unlock subscription. I think it should maybe be a little bit
more specific.
about, it's a cell phone unlocking
Yeah.
subscription for investigative purposes. You know, so it's a cell, that's what it is. It just explain that to us a little bit more. And then number 3, page 3 of 4, under planning and zoning, the first bullet, motion second to concur with planning and zoning commission recommendation for Sunny's Dock and Lift LLC. I think then after that, request conditional use permit operating to include storage in addition to return plan. In the addition to return storage, I think with the instead of in addition to return to planning commission request additional storage building if needed, it should probably with stipulation that, because it was a
stipulation.
It was a stipulation
Yeah.
that if they want to do anything else, then so I wrote with stipulation that any change or improvements must be applied for another conditional use permit.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It wasn't just go
Yeah,
back to planning and
correct.
zoning.
Yeah.
It was they have to go back for
Yeah.
another application.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, correct.
And that was it.
I had that highlighted. Does anybody else have any other? I had one under page 3 of 4, the Heartland Trail. It's not the, I think we should be more specific on what the study was for. It was for from Dutton Locks to Bucks Mills. It just says final, you know what I mean? Studies complete in the Becker County website. Final Heartland Trail routing study done, or study update. It's not the final study. It was just the study for the possibility of going that to Bucks Mills.
It was how do you word that?
How do you word that?
It was the
Heartland Trail routing study to determine.
Best route?
maybe it was just the report of the Heartland
Yeah,
Trail for Bucks Mills to,
Okay. Yeah, okay, there you go.
the final report,
The final report, yeah.
something like that.
Okay. Because it sounds like all the studies are done.
The final report for and maybe mention the segment, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so.
Does anybody else have any things for the minutes? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Motion by Phil, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Barry. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries. All right, consent agenda. Do we have any items that anybody would like to pull from the consent agenda?
No, but I don't know if you read the consent agenda under sheriffs, under the correctional healthcare.
Yeah.
We discussed it at length at committee, and it says a 7% increase, so there was
Yeah.
confusion on that, and I think, Sheriff, did you ever clarify that? When they mentioned 7% for next year, that is what is that? That's just an anticipation?
Just to prepare for the.
And they said the same language the year before,
Yeah.
and now it's 2.5. So
Yeah.
it's kind of goofy, because we were confused on that, so, but, I just want to note that if anyone read that, it does look a little bit confusing, so, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So we have a motion by Barry. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, so we have a second by Erica. Do we have any more discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, Commissioners' open forum. Yes.
Morning.
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 Is there anybody?
I just came down this morning to introduce two of our newer attorneys, both at different stages of their career, but both equally important to the work we do. So I'm going to give them the two chairs and let them speak briefly.
Good morning. My name is Lily Kroom. I started in the county attorney's office mid-August. I took the bar this past summer, so I'm the very beginning of my career, but I had the opportunity to intern here for my 2 summers of law school, so glad to be back and excited to be in this new role.
Welcome.
Did
Yes,
you pass
thank
the bar?
I did. That's
Thank
why
you.
I'm still here.
Where did you go to school?
I went to UND.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for picking.
Good morning. My name is Chris Myers. I started, this is my 4th day, but I've been a prosecutor for the last 28 years, both state and federal prosecutor. I'm from Fargo, graduated high school at Fargo North, attended NDSU, Drake University Law School in Des Moines, and then landed at the Clay County Attorney's Office and U.S. Attorney's Office. I was a BCI agent actually before those. So I'm excited to serve the citizens of the county, and it's been a warm welcome so far. Met various people in various departments, and I think it'll be fun. So thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for, welcome to Becker County. Yeah, thank you. Yep.
I just want to welcome you.
Thank you.
Thank you for.
I got it.
Nice to meet you.
Hope you have a long career.
Thank you.
That's okay. We'll try to get Brian.
Thank you.
It's not.
Yeah.
Are you not from the South
Yes, I am.
That's good.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Everybody's happy
Thanks, Brian.
because it's Thanksgiving. I can't afford a turkey, they're way up in price.
Go to Charlie's.
Go hit one in the road.
Isn't Charlie's giving free Thanksgiving
I
dinner?
had-
They're
in my
free Thanksgiving
yard.
dinner at Charlie's.
All fall. Now they're gone.
They don't taste real good in there.
The wild ones don't.
Actually, the breast, if you just eat the.
It's only the
Smoke
breast.
them.
Mhm.
Smoke them and breast. Because the breast is pretty dark anytime. We're kind of like.
All right, we will move on to reports and correspondence. Who would like to go first?
It was a slow report week for me. I only had human services, and everything on human services is on the agenda other than our partnership for health contract, which we will be talking about, I believe Friday
Yeah.
or Monday, I don't remember. And then that'll come forward to the board. And then we just had our EDA housing subcommittee last Friday. We met with MMCDC to have further discussions on our housing contract, and we will be bringing that recommendation to EDA on Thursday. That's all I had. Short and sweet.
Phil and I had discussions with zoning yesterday about blight properties. why we're really kind of struggling what definitions and how to move forward with this, because there's probably not good end results in some of the worst cases in the county. But we are, there are some that are in the process of being addressed now. We're going to form a committee, and Erica, hopefully you will be addressed to that, because I think there's some in all of our districts that maybe, we're not looking, I think the line is, we're not going to, just because there's a complaint on someone, we don't want to get in the middle of neighbors complaining on neighbors.
Yes.
But there are some serious ones in the county that we want to address. And I don't know how many there are, but so the committee will be consistent with Sheriff Glander, Planning and Zoning Kyle Varberg. The commissioner in that district will be in there. Human Services will be available for, and Carrie will be one of the attendees, and then Steve Skoog with Environmental. So there's we're going to offer help, but most of the extreme cases might not be willing to accept any help. There might be some services that we can direct them to. So we're trying to develop a kind of a scoring or a questionnaire that will help us identify what's concerning and why this one would elevate. But we want to make sure we're not out harassing individuals that just don't keep their yard like the neighbor wants it kept. So we don't want that, because that's while we might not like it, it's the individual's right to.
I think the other thing to take into consideration also is just the environmental concerns. I'm thinking the one quite bad one in my district is right on the river.
Yeah.
So.
And I think another thing that we do, I mean, it's silly to say, but is it screening from the neighbors? So it's the neighborhood concern of how the neighbors are affected by this too. So if nobody sees it, if they have 50 acres and it's in the middle and it's surrounded by pine trees, I mean, if it's not endangering anyone, I mean, then it's a different story than if it's right next to the property line of an adjoining neighbor with no screening. So that was, it's difficult because nobody wants to infringe on others' property rights, but there gets to be a point where something has to be done. Phil, anything to add to that? County attorney was there, advising on some of the questions we had. So it was a good meeting. It's a difficult topic because there's no good answers. There's no good answers on it. It's mostly a lot of them have mental health issues and don't want any assistance. Richard will have to hit NRM. I'm going to check my notes. We had an NRM meeting, or
I don't have anything on it.
Oh.
Did we have one?
I'm checking my calendar.
No.
Oh, we had
it was on-
courthouse.
It was on Veterans Day and we didn't do it.
Okay. Any?
Are you done, Barry?
Yes. Well, I am for right now. I have to check. I meant courthouse. So.
Yeah, we had courthouse, but that was taken care of with the introduction of our new attorneys.
Yes. We had a single item.
Mr. Chair, I just had what Barry had with the ordinance review, and he covered it very well. Just a couple things I wanted to hand out. These are, we're doing that construction demolition regional study. This is what is there right now. I just thought that might be interesting to you. That's what we're trying to reconform, I guess. That was one thing. The other thing is, Richard and I at our last environmental meeting, we're going to do a mattress recycling event in December.
Sweet.
Yes, there is one word spelled wrong in here. You guys are getting these copies. It's already been corrected.
Dave will notice it right away.
And this, we're just trying to clean up the garbage a little bit. After electronics, we did really well at the electronics. We've made a few subtle changes. We're going to do this in the spring. We'd like to do something different. So this is just what's going to be happening. So I just want to make you all aware of that. One interesting article in the paper that really caught my attention, and Barry, I thought you might appreciate this. Minnesota county, cities, and schools, your local things, the proposed tax levy in all of Minnesota, $1 billion for local government entities.
Increase?
$1 billion, yes, increase.
Throughout the whole
Now,
state.
that's not just counties, that's not our 87 counties, that's the
City-
counties, the
city
cities,
townships.
and the schools.
Townships too?
Local, yeah, townships would be included in that too. $1 billion of tax increase for local entities. I thought that was just a lot. But, and the article was on unfunded mandates and how that, you used to get funding federally and state, it's being pushed. They're saying you got to do it still. So how do you pay for it is the question. It's being pushed down to us.
I think Matt Hildegard from AMC was part of that.
He was quoted in the article. We went on a road tour. That was really nice to see a couple things over Lake Park, West Lake Drive. We did that, and we stopped at Sunnyside. I'm glad we could do that because I've never been in there before.
Did you guys miss me?
We did very much.
Were you there?
miss you.
Yeah, that's all we could talk about. Too bad Erica was
Sure
there.
wish Eric was here.
I didn't realize you weren't there.
And just one follow-up from previous meetings. I've been asking for Fair Board number meetings or someone to come in and present from the Fair Board from the summer, and I've asked a couple times, and that just
We haven't
doesn't
had,
happen.
we have it at board meeting on Monday.
Yep.
Okay.
And I brought that up the
Okay.
last one too.
Perfect. And then last meeting, Barry brought some up with the EDA and tourism. You said you have your meeting next week?
This
The tourism?
Thursday.
Yeah. Ask them about that.
Well, I just saw something else. I mean, they're advertising.
Otter Tail County. you said.
Yeah, Otter Tail County, something pops up on Facebook, because you get those ads that pop up in between. They have one there. Come and visit Otter Tail. And
They
I
had
mean,
a-
they're very
A
aggressive.
big hunting one, like all through deer hunting, they posted.
They post their big
hunters
bucks
and-
and congratulate the hunters.
Yep.
I had one standing in my yard this morning behind a tree. I don't know
It
what-
knows it's safe.
I don't know, they're never there, but it's a buck. And I'm like, yeah, and I couldn't get out of my driveway.
Mr. Chair, that's all I had.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
bring that up on
Yeah.
Thursday.
Thank you.
Or Monday.
No, the EDA.
Oh, the
Tourism.
EDA. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But we'll bring it up again to come to the board on
Yep.
Monday.
That Fair Board. She's talking EDA.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
talking
yep,
Fair Board.
yep.
I just had human services with Erica, that's all I had, and I'm just gonna say it, Erica, remember this U-Care agreement and
Oh, yep.
Medicare, and then this adult foster care, so they're gonna reduce their budget levy by 102,000.
Yep, yeah.
And they worked really hard, remember?
Yes.
They did a lot of work to move things around, and so
That's what we say, it's a
That's-
well-oiled machine over there.
it is, and it's,
They,
and so I just had to say that, but that's all.
yeah, so that was, I forgot about that. That was very good news for us to hear. And hopefully we'll see that next week at our
Yeah.
budget session. We'll be able to include that in decreasing our levy, hopefully.
I just had a couple. So I had the Historical Society. Just a reminder, I talked about it the last time about the Historical Society, but this June 19th and 20th at the fairgrounds, they're having a lumberjack festival. So just a little bit about that. So I'll remember if you ever watched it on TV or been to one where they do the hot sawing and they do the log chopping and stuff. So they're going to do that, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be done. The one day it's going to be 3 times, but 3 times they're going to perform that, and it takes about 30 to 40 minutes, I think he said. And then on this one, and then on the other day, they're going to do 2 times. I think so Friday, I think it's a Friday and Saturday, so it'll be 2 and 3 times. So anyway, it sounds like a pretty cool event, and it could be a good fundraiser for the museum too, so. And then the last thing is they do have that Butterfly Odyssey exhibit that started October 4th. It'll run to April 4th. And then Becky Mitchell also talked to the Pelican Watershed, and they're interested in maybe sponsoring a portion of that exhibit. And we got the exhibit really, really cheap because they didn't have any place to put it. So they gave us a really cheap price, and then they basically got it for free for the whole winter because there was no, they didn't have a place to store it. So we're kind of we're exhibiting it and
Can
storing
we
it.
charge them for storage?
Yeah, no, I did ask that. She says, no, they're giving it to us for free. Well, that's why they're doing it, yeah.
Is there any live butterflies?
No, it's an interactive, they're kind of live. It's an interactive, so you go in there and it's you can ask a question or punch in questions, and you can push buttons and it'll show all the butterflies and what and process of how they are made, produced, and grow. And there's different kinds. So it is actually pretty cool. It's an interactive site or an interactive.
Cocoons?
Yeah, there's no.
They have little human cocoons you can crawl into.
I'll be honest with you, I have not seen it yet, but I think there's a bunch of models in there too of stuff that happens. So I guess it's pretty cool and it's a big deal, but I know probably less than you do. All right, I was on the road tour too. What's the road that goes from Forest Hills to 230? I think that's going to be a cool project to get that paved. That'll be.
Well, there's some steps to do that.
There are a lot of
The
steps, yeah.
township hopefully is, we had numerous applications for the grant.
Yeah.
Local road improvement program.
Yeah.
We have the
Yeah.
LRIP.
And if they get that, then we look at transferring that into a county road.
And remember, that's the township line. There's 4 townships.
There's 4
involved in that
townships
road,
involved
so it's
in
gonna be
that. Yeah,
sophisticated.
so that's why I thought it was kind of interesting how we could get all those places to work together. And we also found out that the sand, they're selling the sand, so you can.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, when we drove by it. Well, remember the new company bought it?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you found out.
Yeah. Or it wasn't, I don't know if it was me. It was Barry.
No, I thought it was Richard.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't remember who said it, but
yeah, one of our guys from Highway down there.
yeah, Brian said it.
Brian
Yeah,
said it.
Brian said it, yeah.
And found out, that we could buy sand there again, so, yeah.
And then I also had the Lakes Country Service Co-op meeting, board meeting, and so we had 2 board members that were part of the Minnesota Education Policy Fellowship. So what that is a professional development group or organization it's a professional development program for adults that work in government, education, nonprofits, or some sort of youth development. So anyway, they were able to go to Washington, D.C., and because Washington, D.C., because the Institute for Educational Leadership, which is a nonprofit organization that is based in Washington, D.C., they kind of run this fellowship, professional development, and they got to meet with legislators from the Senate and the House about, how government works, how the funding process goes to this and this and this. And they also had interesting thing that I found. One interesting thing is there's a study that they did on how, I better get my glasses on. They found that people that go to college, they don't always match their majors. Like they get, so like, for example, well, this isn't matching a major, but let's say a person that's going to be a teacher goes to a private college. They're going to spend 3 times more money when they could go to a public institution or a state university and spend less money. So they have data on all this information and how going to a 2-year school or maybe learning a trade in a 1-year situation, those people may not in the long run have a higher salary, but they're going to make more money right away, and they're going to make more money faster.
I saw a study on that
Yeah.
for RNs versus doctors, and the
Yeah.
RNs start making pretty good money right away.
Yeah.
And less debt, and the doctors who have to go to more schooling make a bigger salary, but it takes them longer
To get the debt.
So if they start investing that, if the RN starts investing right away, they can make as much as the doctor. There's many variables.
There's many
does-
variables, so it was just interesting how the legislatures really use that data to determine some of the funding. So there's obviously many integral parts.
I think
to
the
it,
biggest thing is the student make sure they have a passion and
Yeah.
want to do what they're going into school for.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the key. And whether
We've known that information.
Oh,
for
yeah,
At
I
least
know
a
we-
decade.
yeah, we've
probably
known.
20.
But we haven't had any studies to tell us that.
Yeah.
We haven't had an official study to tell us that. That's why
Oh, we know.
yeah.
For sure.
No, and be honest with you, in Detroit Lakes High School, they have the academy model, and they are trying to get people to take classes. Some of the kids will take classes college classes during school, during high school, and then so it doesn't cost as much when they go, or they start learning a trade, or they go work somewhere and get credit for, get high school credit for it. So yeah, there's a lot of that going on now. So, does anybody else have anything else for reports and sports?
Just a couple things. We have our township meeting on
Yep.
Thursday. I have a Laurel meeting up in Moorhead, so I probably won't make it if you can express my sentiment that I had another meeting, and I could probably make it back for the back bend, but
I'll be there. And
Yeah.
I'll tell them that you didn't care.
Mr. Chair, I'll be there. But we need to hustle it up because the bills are playing.
and just to remind, and everyone's going to EMC this year, correct?
Richard,
Can we ride together?
Yes, you should. I did.
do we want to ride together?
We want to be as happy as we. Let's coordinate that later.
We could sing songs.
I'll sing.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
I spy.
I tell you a quick story. One time we went down, my two friends and one's fiance went down to the cities for something over the weekend, and I sang 99 bottles of beer in the wall all the way back, and they were ready to kill me. So if you be careful what you ask for us. We were in college.
That's probably why you have two friends.
Yeah, I don't have them anymore. Not after that trip, but if we're at appointments, I would like to make a couple
Yep.
appointments.
Yep.
I'd like to appoint Ellis Peterson to the, are we within our timeline to make that appointment? You know,
It's been advertised, I had it open to be brought back on the December 16th.
I'll wait with that one, but I would like to,
Give it a month.
yeah, I would like to, I'd like to appoint Terry Khalil to the library board to fill Ben Grimsley's unexpired term.
Okay,
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
So we have a
I'll
motion.
second.
So we have a motion by Barry and a second by Erica. Do we have any more discussion?
Excuse me, is that effective immediately?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
To fill Ben Grimsley's expired term,
his term that he,
remainder of his term.
remainder of his term.
Okay.
Thank you, that's the language I was looking
Yeah. All right, so do we have a motion and a second? Do we have any more discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
for. Aye.
Aye. Right, motion carries. Do we have any more appointments? All right, let's move on to our county administrator report.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair. I, like the rest of you, been focused mostly on budget meetings, as well as our implementation of our new payroll and HR system. And so our first payroll on that system will run not this payday this week, but the following payday. So that'll be our first run on payroll. And as you all know, if you did your open enrollment, we're on the new system. So it's rolling fast and furious, and the staff here in administration as well as in the auditor treasurer's office have put in lots and lots of time. It's daily meetings, it's daily meeting with staff from Paycom and just ongoing additional work on top of their regular duties. So it seems as though we are making lots of headway and getting kind of towards the end. So that's been a lot of time and effort, and I've sat on a lot of those meetings as well. On top of that, Commissioner Hansen and I have been diligently involved with our leadership training, which we have found has been about an hour and a half of homework every day.
Every day?
Pretty much.
Oh my God.
So that's
Dang, I wish I'd have signed up for that.
so with those three
I asked for
focus.
my money back after the first week. Seriously, I did, because I could see it was going to be so much work
It's been a lot of work.
fighting through it.
So hence, that's been my focus for the last few weeks here. So that's really all I have to report on. A reminder, obviously, Thursday we have our township meeting. We have our board work session next Tuesday.
We're going to do that at Highway?
I
we
have
do?
it for here
Okay.
here in the boardroom, and I'll make sure that we've got it noticed for, I believe that's how we noticed it, for the boardroom.
Yeah, it's all on there.
Yes, so we have a running list of topics for that work session. I had a meeting up at our college with Carrie. I got called up there just to talk about potential future planning or lack thereof, however you want to say it. With the college, their enrollment is way down, and just what they're looking at for future. And so that was an interesting discussion about potentially what may happen in 2027 with the building and or the college. So that'll be a future discussion that we can certainly have if we have a need for additional space, if the college is deciding that they'll no longer continue. So, and I'll bring more information to our budget work session. So the college basically is if they do close, they have the potential to look at having that go back to a government entity. So I know several entities have been approached whether or not they're interested in additional space, but that would be looking out to probably 2027. The last thing I have on my list is the resolution 2F. This is, I had briefly spoke about this during our last meeting. It was a request out of Sherburne County for other counties to consider passing a resolution urging the repeal of Minnesota's moratorium on nuclear energy, excuse me. And so I did use their draft resolution. I know last meeting we did have some discussion, or there was some suggestion that perhaps the language in as far as joining the Minnesota Nuclear Energy Alliance, that we may not want to do that. So hence in here I did that particular, therefore as it's resolved, I did put that. It didn't come across in red in your packet, but
It did.
It did,
Oh,
yeah.
did it?
It did,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, my copy did not.
And I was going to bring that up too. I in full support of asking the state to repeal this.
Yeah.
But even the last couple paragraphs where I'm like, I don't know what all that means yet. I mean, I would just like a very simple, we support repealing the moratorium.
We'll get to it, right?
Yeah, I'm just not sure. I mean, the last,
Yeah, that urges the Minnesota Governor, state legislature.
Yeah, the last two, I saw that.
I just wasn't, I don't fully understand. It's on the next page on this one, but so I don't fully understand what the implications would be at this point. So I'm like, I'm ready to say, we support the repeal of the moratorium, but more than that, I would like more information to what the safe storage of welcomes earnest consideration of Sherburne County for siting of such new nuclear power. I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I would have to hear some more information to say I support Sherburne County doing something. I'm just not aware of it. I don't know what they're asking there. So
Yeah.
that's my concern. I certainly support asking the state to repeal the moratorium. And then there's some of that in here where it's like, I need to know what this means.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Barry.
So would you like me to bring it back, or would you like me to remove that, or what direction would you like to?
Mr. Chair, I mean, I don't quite agree with that, Barry. I think we should support another township now, or another county, Sherburne County. I read that, and I didn't come up with any of that stuff, any of those questions, I guess. I know you said we're supporting it at the county level already
AMC
through
supports it.
AMC. I don't know why we wouldn't.
The AMC supports the repeal of the moratorium.
Yeah.
Correct.
This language in here gets more specific to something that Sherburne County is doing, and I don't know what that is.
I support nuclear energy. I don't care what they're doing.
Well, we got to repeal the moratorium
Right.
first, and then that discussion
But
can
we need-
ensue.
It's clean energy. I don't know why we're not doing it.
Well,
Yeah, so
we don't
It's
need to
the,
have.
it's the waste that's
Yeah,
concerning.
I got room to store some of that stuff.
I think you have.
I just wonder if we recommend to repeal the moratorium, and then if they want additional support for something that they're doing,
We can do
That
another
would be
resolution
outside
for
of
that.
this? Is that-
yeah,
I
then they
think
can
so.
bring us the additional information for what they're doing.
I would agree with that. I think this resolution should state that we are in favor of Minnesota repealing the moratorium. And then any other information specifically to the Sherburne County or the other information could be another resolution if this does get repealed. If we're going to support them doing that.
I
which
mean, just to clarify, AMC is supporting the repeal of it.
Correct.
Right.
Like, they haven't
They're-
mentioned
Anything else?
But we have to do this first before we move to the next thing. Barry, I'm looking at that. I mean, you want to know where they're going to do safe storage, right? I mean, They're talking about safe storage, power
I think-
facilities.
I think
mean,
Sherburne County
They don't
wants-
know any of that yet.
They have a plan they have been approached to expand their facility.
They have
So
been.
that's where this is being driven from. I don't know enough about that to support or not support that. I mean,
Okay.
that's where, I mean, I just have to learn more if I'm going to support a project. I just don't want to support a resolution saying, now I support that. Well, you support it then. It's like, well, I didn't realize I supported it in this resolution. So I would support going all the way, down to the red and saying, therefore, Becker County supports the repeal of the 30-year moratorium, instead of the red and then eliminate the last two. And we can
Mr.
come back
Chair.
and support that later.
Maybe a little more work on it than Carrie, is that what we're?
I don't care if
Do
she
you have
takes it off or
direction,
not,
Carrie?
it doesn't matter to me.
I understand the direction. I mean, if you want me to reword this, I can certainly
I just say,
do that.
just eliminate the last three portions, starting with the one in red. And
Yep.
then in that, instead of what's in red, just say, now therefore be it resolved, Becker County supports the repeal of the nuclear moratorium on nuclear power.
Yep.
And just general, okay.
I mean, it's just a little bit more general, and if there's specifics later that we want to support a county
Then we
or
can do that.
a state, we can certainly do that.
Okay, and I can certainly modify it to that if you would like.
And so I'll make a motion to,
Well, we're not there yet, right? We're still in county reports, or are we there?
this is under the administrator.
It's
Yeah.
under
It's
administrator.
under
Yeah,
me.
it's a resolution 2F.
I'd make a motion to approve resolution 2F with the rewordage of the last three paragraphs, or elimination of the last three, be it further resolved, reading in the place of the red, just that Becker County supports the repeal of the moratorium in place of the last three.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by,
And
Yeah.
if there's any wordage in there, minor wordage
Yeah.
in the document that Carrie wants to alter because of what our feelings are, I mean, what the intent is, I
Yeah.
think that should be allowed then too.
Okay,
is that good with you too?
I mean,
All right, so we have a motion
A
and
little bit.
a second.
okay.
Do we have any more discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
Mr. Chair, who seconded that?
Phil seconded.
I did.
Motion by Barry, Phil, second by Phil.
Thank you.
And Mr. Chair, just to Carrie, going back to the Paycom thing, I mean, I know Tiara and Amanda have put in yeoman's work on that, so thank you to both of them for that. Let's pass that along, and I know it's been an arduous process.
I think they're listening.
So, okay, thank you. I recognize the emails and the pitfalls, and they had to make a lot of corrections, probably extra hours, so thank you for doing that.
And also the payroll and the auditor's office, they've been working diligently too. So Tanya, Zach.
And thank you for reaching out to commissioners that need special help in their benefits enrollment.
Yeah, they did help me.
They helped me too.
It was either that or not get it.
I would
So
like to-
did. They came in and they helped me, and they have been working very hard on that.
It should be in that, system that when you want to increase your HSA for family, it should be figured in there. You shouldn't have to do paperwork for that. I mean, because I had to do a special paperwork addendum to increase to family maximum. And that, you shouldn't have to do, that should be allowed.
Well, and I think the reason for that is because a lot of entities don't really allow that. Becker County is unique in that to allow for the family contribution if you're only taking out a single policy. So it's a way to have some safeguards in place.
Check.
Yes.
But there is a safeguard on the $1,000. It won't allow you to add $1,000 for, catch up unless you're
Age-wise.
in
Yeah.
adequate age. So I think, the programmers can modify that, I think, to do that. But just check a box. Your spouse is eligible and not accepting any of her work. So I should work on that. My spouse could take out of her own pay.
Yeah.
But it's easier to have it in one. So anyway, yeah, thanks. That's a lot of work.
All right, is there anything else, Carrie? Or-
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. So let's move on.
We're ahead of schedule.
We're ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
Is
quite ahead.
I don't know that you can,
Go through, you got to go on, yeah. Because
not
Kyle needs.
number 2, I know we have to wait till that time, I would assume.
Yep. Because don't we have
Mary's got some.
yep.
I had actually asked for the agenda item to be added. You have already adopted an ordinance for cannabis growing, but I've been being contacted by off-sale liquor establishments for selling
THC?
THC drinks and edibles. And I told them to check with the state. The state made them pull their product because Minnesota Statute 342.22 says, before making any retail sales to customers, a registration must be filed with the city, county, or township in which the establishment is located. We have had most of the townships turn over their authority. These separate businesses that have requested are in the purview of those who have turned over their control to the county. We need to set a public hearing. We have to publish 10 days before the meeting. So my request is we set a public hearing for December 2nd. That would give us time to publish this Saturday to adopt the registration and fee schedule. We have a draft application. Basically, it's going to follow Minnesota statute, but we have to adopt, or the board has to adopt or amend what they've already enacted for these businesses to be able to operate in Becker County.
Do we, when we adopt this process, then do they have to individually come to the board and have that approved? Or is it, if we adopt the policy, you can just sign off? And I think that's a question you probably want to check, because I mean, I would just soon do it a blanket countywide that the auditor's office can issue those instead of.
Is that similar to like what we do for liquor license?
Well, yeah, but the liquor license we have to approve.
We have to
I'm wondering if we have to approve every one of these THC sales.
I can check with,
But I
check
just,
in with Brian.
it would be just as soon to
Great.
blanket it so we don't have to.
Kyle, there he is. Come on up, Kyle. You're on.
Well, are we ahead of schedule? I don't know if we can take the retaining wall one before 9:20.
We're just talking cannabis registration.
Could talk cannabis, then I think that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just asked about setting a hearing to do the registration forms for December 2nd, and so that we can set a fee schedule.
Let's see here. I think we did decide, so it'd go to the newspaper then tomorrow, so it'd be 1, 2, 3.
Yep, that's 10 days.
Okay.
Yep. If the board wishes to, we have to have a public hearing to adopt this or amend the existing ordinance.
Yeah,
We have to do something.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Our businesses are,
So you need a.
So,
no, just put on.
Mr. Chair, Kyle, we had talked about this and we said we were all set. So we're all set to go to the public hearing, or we're all set? Because we talked about this, rules, setbacks and stuff, didn't we? A few months ago?
Right, but what we didn't have is, or what we weren't considering is this low potency hemp that's been,
This is different?
yeah, it's been legal, it's been in stores long before cannabis.
The gummies and these
I think
drinks.
it was
There's
added,
things that.
it was
different. So
legal
you
before.
deprive things from hemp and you deprive things from cannabis. What our ordinance is in place right now is just cannabis. So there's been this low potency hemp stuff for years.
Yeah.
So the cannabis thing, all the setbacks and things from schools and parks and stuff that we
That's
did.
separate.
That's, okay, I thought this was the same thing. I did not even know that. Okay, so this is a separate,
This has been.
just hemp, not,
And I think Kyle's mentioned, it's like, is that, or someone mentioned at our meetings, is that,
Yeah.
yeah, Gary, it's like, this sales are going on everywhere. It's like
Right.
THC, the hemp product.
So you would probably be looking at something like that that's permissible instead of conditional.
Well, that's exactly what I was saying. It's like, is that something we don't want to come back before the board on every application?
Yeah, that's low potency stuff. Because that's been, again, it's been in stores for years.
Yeah.
So we can blanket the county as this is a permissible sale and not even have a,
That's what I would suggest.
but do we have a registration fee? Is that what this is?
Yes.
We have to set a,
Establish one, and what that registration fee would cover would be the compliance check that we're going to be required to do annually.
the county is.
Yep. just like tobacco.
If these sales, I mean, they happen at, I mean, Walmart and, I mean, doesn't everyone carry that low potency THC?
Yeah,
I mean, can't we just say it is allowable in Becker County? Because it's been going on for the last
right.
5-10 years already
Yeah, I definitely think.
and not
what-
licensed.
Yeah, I think what you'd say is that's permissible.
And not
What it-
required, and does not require a special license or application
What does
permit?
Minnesota statute require? it?
Requires a registration with the county in which.
With
now
every-
Well, the cities are doing it. The stores you're talking about are in the city limits, and the city's regulating that. But a county, it just says may issue a registration where the city or county has provided consent. Before making retail sales to customers or patients, I'm reading Minnesota Statute 342.22, a cannabis microbusiness, cannabis mesobusiness, cannabis retailer, medical cannabis, combination business, or low-potency hemp edible retailer must register with the city, county, or township in which the retail establishment is located.
So most of them that we have are in the city, and the city is doing that.
Right.
This is
But
really
these
for
people
outside
are
of-
contacting us from the townships, out county, off-sale liquor license businesses that want to be able to do this legally. And some did have it on their shelves and the state pulled it because they said the county had not registered them.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
So with this, we really, I think, just need to modify what we have and set our registration fees. Now, I know the state does maximum fees, and we can certainly set them at that rate or less than that, but modifying that and having a registration process, that's really the step that we're missing, and
But we-
that's really what Kyle is speaking
And that's what we'll do
to.
on the second.
Correct.
Have the public.
Have the public hearing and do that on the second.
Do you have a preference?
We don't need a motion to have the public hearing.
You have to set, you have to
We
make
have-
a
do we have a
motion
motion to set it for the
public
second?
hearing.
Well, it'll be in the paper, right? We don't need a motion. You'll just put it in the paper that there will be a public.
But you have
hearing.
to formalize it.
You have to formally set a public hearing.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to set a public hearing for the low
That we need
potency
to, but we can't.
cannabis on December 2nd.
At what time?
At what time?
10:30?
10:30?
You
Not
think
10.
that late? I don't know if you're gonna go, if we'll go that late. Could be.
10?
So we do it right away?
9:30?
Nine-
Nine-
I would say
9:30?
9:30.
9:30.
I would suggest.
If we have a
maybe
short
9 or
meeting, I don't
9.
want to have a.
9 or
Have to
9:30?
wait, right, yep.
So do we have a motion to set the public hearing at 9:30 on December 2nd for the low potency registration?
So moved.
So we have a motion by Erica. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Barry. Do we have any more discussion? Yeah, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
Mr. Chair, just for clarification, registration for cannabis, are you looking to,
Low potency.
but you're doing it specific for that,
Yep.
correct?
Right, so, and there would be not just a registration fee, it would be an ordinance, because we're gonna make low potency permissible.
Okay.
But we still have to establish a registration fee for it to do those compliance checks and things like that. So if you wanted to sell it in the county, it's permissible, you don't come to us, but you're gonna pay an annual fee for us to do those compliance
Right, a
files.
registration.
What is the
fee.
requirement on the county then?
All right, To do a
for-
compliance check.
What, I mean, what are those requirements? Is it once a year? Is it, I mean, is it
Every.
age requirement? Is it setback requirement?
It's
Is
an
it-
age, you hire, or not hire, but you have to have a
Age verification. Right now, the deputies do the tobacco compliance. So I'm guessing it would be the same thing. It just says shall conduct compliance checks of every organization with a retail registration. And it, I'm just looking, you're looking for age verification.
Is there, for the low potency, is there there's an age limit on that?
Yes, 21.
And is there a display or area that it has to be sold? Is there a setback on it? Like, can you sell it at
I believe it has to be
Walmart?
in some type of case or restricted area, like I don't think it can just sit right by the cash register.
Right.
where
or
people
sit in the
walk by.
open?
I think it has to be behind, kind of like how tobacco is.
Can you sell it at like a gas station? Or is it,
I
it's
believe so.
Just like
not
beer?
like a off sale?
Yeah.
It's like you have to get the license like a
Yeah.
flea market?
Mr. Chair, Kyle and Mary, I know you guys can't answer some of these questions. I guess, I believe, and I know it's brand new, so I'm not blaming you guys, but I just feel uncomfortable having a public hearing and voting on something that we don't have complete and clear information on. Can you, before December 2nd, provide some information? And remember who was the person that came in from Clay County? It was very,
Yeah, I have his contact.
yeah, I think it was a guy, yeah, he was very good at, really knew a lot of this, or he convinced me he did anyway.
He's from
But
Human Service.
just provide a little of that before the next meeting so we can read up on it a little bit.
Okay.
Because I'm uncertain on a lot
We're
of this.
all, I think we're probably all in the same boat within, we don't get a lot of guidance. I mean, and this.
Do they have a model, they've set a fee schedule, do they have a model ordinance? Does the cannabis office or whatever have something like that?
I think they do have some models that we could use.
Well, what we've looked at Audubon Township, or the city of Audubon, and what they did is they made low potency hemp permissible.
So they have it, like in the Audubon liquor store? Do they have it there?
Yes.
Yeah, Seven Sisters have it. That's how this came up, is Seven Sisters license.
Well, then I'm-
Something happened with it.
So it's already for sale in town here?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Well, then I'm not worried.
It's called Delta 9, a lot of the stuff. I mean, it's
Yeah.
low potency dried.
And it's been for sale for a long time.
It
Well,
has,
I've heard about it, but
Yeah,
I
it
didn't know
has,
if
yeah.
it was here or not.
Right.
But
Yeah.
So the only issue we have is the townships that don't have that have deferred to us. That's the only ones we have an issue
Right,
with.
is over 90% of them.
Yeah.
I guess my question is, this sample registration fee we have covers more than low potency. Are you saying this hearing is only to discuss low potency?
No, it would be both.
Okay,
'Cause we have
because
to
we
do
can
both.
send you this draft policy for your review. These are state set fees for everything from this cannabis retailer to microbusiness, mesobusiness, combination business.
I just want to make sure our motion to set the public
Yeah.
hearing was for low potency hemp and cannabis ordinance
Correct.
discussion.
Yeah.
And fees.
We got to add that to our motion. So,
That was what it was.
okay,
Yep.
all right.
That's what everyone agrees that it was.
Yep.
And then
Another
That's what it
20
was,
minutes
yep.
Before you can talk retaining walls, or, I'm not sure.
All right.
Thank you.
So are we good?
Yep.
Okay,
I
so-
think you have your.
Mr. Chair, perhaps it might be
Yeah.
helpful, I can certainly get together with Kyle, and there seems to be some questions, and maybe we can put together some information and send it out to the board.
Did we,
I would appreciate that.
Peggy, we voted on that, right?
You did.
Okay. Because Erica just asked me and I didn't know. All right, thank you, Mary. And Kyle, do you want to go on to, did you say you want to go to Blight Properties first?
My property's not on the agenda. but-
Oh, it's not on the agenda.
Do you want to go, wait till 9:20 when it's on the agenda for the retaining wall,
Take a break.
or not? It's a.
better wait.
We probably
ordinance
better wait, just, yeah. All right, we'll wait. All right, we're going to take a break till 9:20. meeting. All right, so next we have our zoning ordinance amendment for retaining walls.
Okay, so there's a memo there. Essentially, myself and Commissioner Hansen, Ed Clem from SWCD, and Roger Hemphill from the DNR met after your last board meeting just to discuss and go over potential process for retaining walls. After speaking with both of them, I guess the vibe was kind of that they were not really that interested in continuing the process of how we were doing it before, where they would go out and make a recommendation to the planning commission, then ultimately you. So kind of what we settled on is that anything under 2 feet for retaining wall would be approved administratively. Anything 2 to 4 feet would have an engineered review, and anything over 4 feet would have an engineered plan or landscape architect plan. Obviously, that engineer review would constitute us retaining an engineer, and obviously there'll be a cost burden there. So looking at that, we could set a fee of 4 walls. That'd be kind of a shot in the dark because not sure what that retaining wall fee review would be. You know, it'd probably be a case by case. So then the other consideration would just be passing that entire review fee on to the applicant, I think is probably the best thing.
Mr. Chair, and as we were talking this meeting, we were trying to make it cost effective for the person doing the project. We didn't want them to run away from it because it was too expensive. But we also want to make sure that we've got good product being put out there for retaining walls, that they're not just throwing it together. So, but we were trying to be
No railroad tie?
What's that?
No railroad ties?
No railroad ties. Hopefully there's no more railroad ties.
There's a few.
They're still out there, you're right. And then anything above 4 feet, you know, you need to get an engineered plan. So what we'd have to do is, I guess the question here is that we were going to bring back to board was this engineer review from 2 to 4 feet. Do we retain that and do we do an RFP for an engineer to come in and review these projects and then try to offset a nominal cost? What is it now, $500, maybe $500, $600, $700, something like that? Is that what we're thinking, Kyle?
That's what we were thinking, yeah.
Yeah. To offset that cost, or do we do something else?
You know, what we were saying there is, so there isn't a cost increase, but right now they're going to the planning commission and paying that fee for a conditional use permit which was $326. So.
And they would no longer have to do that.
They would no longer have to do that. We'd increase that fee somewhat, but then there'd be an engineer involved.
And that fee would cover the engineer cost?
Well, we're speculating at $500 to $600 right now, you know, per application.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, and we, you know what, we could go for an RFP and then speaking with an engineer, say, hey, if, you know, give them a couple examples of walls we have and say, okay, what would the fee have been on this one? And then I could better.
Okay. So,
Otherwise,
but right now we charge $320 for the
$326.
conditional use,
Yeah.
for the conditional use permit.
Mr. Chair, another question, a little bit different on letter D on the retaining wall setbacks. Are we addressing on the side property lines? Is that a concern?
We're not, and specifically the reason we're not is oftentimes I've seen retaining walls used for stormwater management on side property lines where they will, instead of that slope to your neighbor, you'll create some elevation there and the water is actually being retained more. So that's the specific reason why they're not.
So is there language that we state in there that these retaining walls cannot add increased drainage to your neighbor property?
We have that language right now for land alterations itself. It certainly could be added to this.
Because I mean, I think that's one of our problems in the county is when one lot is improved, they're pushing their water onto the adjoining property owner.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No. Retaining walls are, should be designed to retain that water and filter it down and put it towards the lake, so.
And if they do that, they're actually a good thing. In
Yeah.
a lot of places, retaining walls have been really good.
It's like an ice berm, that they're good,
Yeah.
they're good to slow water down, so.
So, but each one of these people has to have a land alteration permit, correct?
Yes.
So, and it is covered in there, the drainage to your neighbors?
Right, but I mean, we can certainly add
Okay.
it. That's a cover all, that's no problem.
Okay.
So a lot of the discussions was, okay, above 2 feet, do we just require them to have an engineered plan? My interpretation was we wanted to make it a little easier for a retaining wall from 2 to 4 feet. Above 4 feet, 4 feet, that gets to be pretty significant. That was kind of the thought process. And we did, we considered cost, because we didn't want to be prohibitive to have a $10,000 engineering fee, so that 2 to 4, that's where that came from. We didn't discuss the side, and that's really important too, the side lots. We didn't consider, that wasn't top of mind, but that is important.
I think stating in there that with using retaining walls, they must, in any project, cannot increase runoff water to adjoining properties.
I'll add that.
Yep.
Do we also need to, just in the letter from the DNR, if I'm understanding the approval letter from the DNR, are they saying that we need to have that language in there about the proposed retaining wall shall be regulated by the following, provided that the project includes work at or below that 1 through 4 that we deleted?
Let me pull up his letter.
Because it just says, however, we make the following recommendations to the language. And it says that, and so I don't know if that means that we need to include that Section 8 retaining walls. The 4 conditions. Because I'm guessing that needs to be in there in order for the DNR to approve it.
Well, what he told us at the meeting is that right now we're above and beyond their language with what we have proposed.
Right, we were more restrictive than the model policy for the state.
So those are just simply, as it states, recommendations. You can consider them. One of the, number 2, where it says that structures are used only to correct a document existing erosion problem and not for aesthetic reasons, is something that we did discuss amongst ourselves there, where a retaining wall is not only used for that currently. A lot of times they are used for somewhat of a use of property where you're making a somewhat level area to maybe sit near the beach or something like that. So limiting it to existing erosion problems only is pretty restrictive. And I guess number 1 is, for our office, is quite obvious that we can't approve anything beneath the ordinary high water mark.
I think the key to a lot of those, if it's sitting area, it should not be a negative on the water quality. I mean, I think that's, if it can be a neutral, so it's not.
Right, so that's just basically where that review comes in by that engineer saying, hey, that this is being constructed properly, that it's not in an increase in any erosion or anything like that.
I just had one question, Kyle. Under letter C, where the second sentence there where it says the plan shall be reviewed and approved by the Becker County Planning and Zoning Engineer, do we want to use the word approved? Or because if it's over 4 feet, it has to go back to the Planning Commission and then the board, is that correct? Or
no, but I think it should be approved by
okay.
that engineer.
Okay.
Is it an engineer or administration?
Engineer.
Okay.
So that engineer is a contracted service.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay.
And we're trying to cover the cost of that engineer from 2 to 4 feet retaining walls
By fees.
That was the thought.
And the 4-foot one, they would.
They gotta
They gotta
get,
pay.
they gotta get their own engineer and come up with a
Or-
plan.
Have you
that-
contacted an engineering firm to?
No.
So that's my question. They gotta get their own, but it says that we're gonna have by the zoning, right?
right,
So
so-
you'd have them and they would
Right.
pay for them.
The 2 to 4 feet,
Yeah,
they're gonna submit a plan to us.
yep,
Our retained engineer reviews it, says, I don't see any problems,
Yeah.
proceed. Over 4 feet, they have a plan from an engineer. Oftentimes, the folks who make the product for the wall, the block, they have engineers on staff a lot of the times.
okay.
They'll supply that plan, then our retained engineer, again, would say,
Review it.
yes.
Okay.
My
So-
question in the 2 to 4 is, what happens if if their plan is significant and it costs more for us to review and deny and change it? Then, I mean,
Then that's where there was basically 2 options outlined there. You could do a fixed fee, or you could pass those fees on.
as long as we have a route to
Right.
do that. I mean, I don't want to spend $2,000 for a
No.
$500 fee.
Yeah.
I think it should be actual cost.
Yeah, just
I would
pass it
agree.
on.
Yeah, okay.
Because sometimes, maybe it's less. I don't.
That's fine.
If it's a local engineer, maybe it will be, maybe it'll be out of Fargo, I'm not sure. But if it's a local engineer and he drives to Floyd Lake and he says, yeah, no problem, maybe it'd be less than 500. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because engineers are cheap.
Right.
But
Have
we do,
RDO come out, I tell you what, it won't be less than $500.
but we do want that engineer's stamp of
Just
approval
kidding.
on
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Less.
That's, Mr. Chair, Kyle, Barry, Commissioner Nelson bringing up the stormwater issue, if we put that in there, which I think we should, will that conform with our MOU with the Pelican River Watershed District and the
Yeah.
Cormorant? Well, that will all conform, we'll all be okay with that?
Okay.
Okay,
So do we have any more discussion there? Or do we ready for a motion?
Did we agreed that the cost would be,
Pass through in
Pass
some,
it,
in
yeah.
some form.
Yeah,
We haven't
Cost burden
dictated
shall-
why or how, but just that this is a cost neutral
and we need to send out an RFP?
Yes.
for an engineering
and,
firm.
we want to make it open to anybody, but obviously someone with some lake, has done some work around the lake, it would be super beneficial.
In the RFP, I think we should also take in consideration travel expense. If someone out of the area is doing it, that there's, we want to know that what travel expenses would be. So say if someone from Fargo, if they're going to charge us mileage every time, well, that's a negative in my opinion. And someone in DL, it's a lot, might be cheaper. So
And that would probably be part of the RFP, Kyle?
yep.
you want a motion? Kyle?
Yeah. Please.
I'll make the motion. Unless you want to.
You made it, second. And what is your motion?
That's what I was gonna say. So you want to have,
Motion to approve the
With-
retaining wall as presented with the addition of the wordage of
the set of the property,
Well,
neighboring property? Right.
How do you want it worded on the, same as our other wordage for runoff can't adversely affect the adjoining property?
that's a stormwater, that the
Yeah.
stormwater be addressed on site.
We want to.
And that any additional reviews in the 2 to 4 level would be passed on to the applicant. That's what we
Expense.
talked about here, yeah.
And on the, all of them actually, or the 4-foot one too.
4 foot definitely would be.
I just had 2 more things I just thought of. Bill, you mentioned in a text a few weeks ago about increasing that distance between tiered walls. Did you remember that?
Yes.
Did you want to further discuss that?
So, yeah, we thought about the ways people could try to get around the rules. If you have a 2-foot wall and then go back a foot and go another 2-foot wall, and then, we didn't want that to happen rather than just have a 4-foot wall, so they could get approved administratively for 2-foot walls. So we had talked about the distance in between the walls.
So that's 3 times the, right?
Well, it's 2 times right now, and I would like to go 3 times that, and I was thinking of a 3-to-1 slope, is that,
It should say 3 right now.
It says
it says 3?
3 right now.
But
So 3 times, the height
of the-
distance times 3, you got to go back.
Yes. So if you have a 3-foot wall, you'd have to go 9 foot 1 inch to be considered, if you have 3 foot and then 3 foot, not to be considered one wall, they'd have to be beyond 9 feet apart.
Okay. And the question, Kyle, was, is that a significant amount of distance? I mean, you see the walls, I don't know, that seems like, should we
Well,
go more than that?
we have one being constructed right now, or it's in the process. And when I spoke with the contractor about that, about what we'd be considering today, and he was looking at a 4-foot wall, and I said, you'd have to go back 12 to do another one and not be considered one wall, and he's like, that ain't. So, I mean, that right there deterred him. So, I mean, everything we,
That's quite a bit already.
well, 3 times, whatever.
That's quite a bit.
If you got 5 feet, you're talking 15, That's
Yeah,
from
But
me.
you
to-
get 5 feet, everything's engineered anyway. I mean,
Right.
I think you get up to that size.
I can't picture it in my head. Is 3 foot or times 3 for the height of the wall, is that enough?
Well, what we considered, we talked about it at the advisory committee. We were at 2, and then I think
Yeah.
we went to 3.
We went to 3, okay, that's
Yeah.
what it was.
I think, yeah.
3's plenty. Three is, that's
9
You
feet.
know,
yeah.
That's a long
we can
way.
sit here and debate it all day, and in
Yeah.
every situation, every property, it's gonna be a little bit different. It's like, well, it would be better here, if, it's tough to mass, every property is unique, and
Yeah, don't make it too hard for them.
Motion and then
It's almost
times
always gonna
3.
help.
Times
as
3.
written.
So as written, so that,
But should that, I'm thinking now, that's not part of the 2 to 4. Should it be in the 2 to 4? That times 3 thing?
Well, that's where you were most concerned about it. So probably.
Okay.
so then we have to amend your motion to
That's
add
included
it
in
to
our
the 2
motion.
to 4, yeah. Or
Then,
include in the motion.
That's what our motion included. Is that
Yep.
correct, Phil?
Yes.
I just have one more thing for conversation I thought of. Do you want this to apply across the board, anywhere on someone's property, or specifically to a shore impact zone or bluff impact zone? So, for instance, let's say somebody lives in Spruce Grove Township and they're 5 miles from a lake and
If
flat
it's not in
land.
riparian, I don't think we have a concern if someone wants to build a walkout basement and put a
Yeah,
riparian
yeah,
wall.
I agree, yeah.
I thought we were just, water quality, is what we're,
So I have retaining
I think-
walls
I don't think
because
we
I have
need
a
it in the-
walkout basement, but I'm
Want to do
300 feet from.
specific to riparian.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say.
Or like yours, yours is a good
I'm
example.
riparian, but I'm 300 feet from the water.
Right, so that's an example that I'm,
So first tier, this applies to first tier or first and second tier maybe? Of riparian, what is the setback?
I consider
this?
first tier 267 feet,
On all lakes,
yes.
on general GD, RD, and environment? So do we want just in first tier?
so we couldn't do shore impact zone, that's 1,000 feet, right?
No, the
That's-
shore impact zone is 50 feet.
50 feet, isn't it? Yeah.
On a RD lake, it's 33 feet on a GD and
75 on it.
75 on a,
We used to do shore impact zone. But so, basically, yours is a good example. You sit quite a ways back from
Yeah.
Hudson Lake.
267, that's quite a ways.
it shouldn't be more than that.
It doesn't have to be any more than that.
Right, so,
Because our concern is water quality.
Right.
yeah.
Mr. Chair, Kyle, would you repeat my motion?
Peggy will.
Good luck with that.
I would say the motion reads,
So I said, this is what I
as,
have,
as written so far, and
as presented, and you can't increase runoff for the adjoining properties, but you wanted to mirror what's in the zoning, whatever.
The land
how
alteration.
it's,
per-
how the language of the,
land alteration. And the engineering cost is a pass-through, but
Yep,
for the 2 to 4
and the 4,
And the distance between the walls,
times 3.
times 3, which is what it currently is.
including in 2 to 4.
Include that in 2 to 4. And then now we want to say that this only applies to tier 1, whatever the,
Can we use a word besides tier, because we've already used, is that the way that's worded? Tier 1, 267? I haven't even heard of that. Tier 1 what?
That's, I don't know, it was an arbitrary number established, 267 feet. They used to have first, second, and third tier. Now we have first and second tier for certain types of development. You have three types of tiers for natural environment lakes, but they're really just, I mean, 267 not feet, I don't think was some scientific number. It was just,
Somebody's lucky number.
I don't want to mix up this tier with the
I mean, you could do
block
300 feet,
tiers.
that would probably be,
Yeah, just
200.
do 300 feet,
300
then you got it covered.
Yep.
pick a number.
300
300, that's a long ways. I mean, it's 100 yards.
That's a long
That's a
ways.
long way.
not too
100
long ways
yards.
away.
100 yards from the lake.
Yeah.
It's a long
If this is attached to your house, maybe that's another exclusion. If it's attached to your house and that's not the same as retaining walls down by the lake. I mean, if it's
No.
attached to a house for a walkout,
walkout basement.
A
Yeah, that's a
walkout
good
basement.
example.
And that could be closer than 300 feet, very easily.
I mean, if it's, I don't know, an attachment on the house, I mean,
Kyle, will you repeat what you wrote down? What we're
maybe
gonna
that
put
should
into
just be a
this?
different, under a building, on a site permit, if retaining walls are allowed within, I don't know.
It could be incidental to that. Right, so just right, I just have some quick notes, Commissioner Hanson, but I have a stormwater note.
Yep.
So we cannot increase runoff from property to neighboring properties. I have to add that height requirement to the 2 to 4 foot walls. I have this applying to walls within 300 feet from a
Okay.
lake, or I'm going to say lake or river. And then I would have an exclusion for walls incidental to a structure or dwelling. I don't know.
Plus the ×3 distance, we want that in there, or is that already in there? We just wouldn't change anything?
I have that, yeah, I have that, add to
The 2 to 4.
that height.
Okay.
Yep.
What about costs? Should that be addressed in here too? From the 2 to 4, the pass-through cost?
Should it also be on the
I think when,
over 4 too?
I think, so we'd have probably an ordinance to establish that fee. So once we have that RFP in place, I think I would bring a resolution establishing that fee at that time. Would that make sense?
I think so, yes. Because we'll have to do an RFP anyway, and you'll.
Do you have to do an RFP for each one, or can you have an RFP
mean,
to contract
one
one?
For one engineer.
Yeah.
It's tough to have it, to say
Yeah,
the price
that's
now
what I
when we
mean,
have
yeah.
no idea.
It'd be like our surveyor is like kind of on,
Yeah.
when we need them.
Then I would say the only thing is that Carrie and I are working on one that's controversial right now. I do believe they're going to be going through an engineered plan. And in the meantime, between that and this RFP, I would probably get 2 numbers from an engineer and pick the lower of the cost to review. But that one needs to be solved before, sooner than later.
So I just got one more thing, to maybe add to your motion. You said that the engineer fee is covered in the over 4 foot because they hire an engineer, but it still has to go to the Becker County Planning and Zoning engineer that's contracted. So that fee
To review
No.
that,
to
yeah.
review.
Yeah, we want that.
We need an
Over 4
engineer.
feet?
an
Yeah,
engineer
because if
plan.
somebody was to bring in some big wall, I would like,
It's already approved by their engineer though, right?
But not our county engineer.
still think there probably should be some review of that.
If a plan comes in by an engineer and county review, it's not, they're just gonna see it's been stamped and they're going to go, yeah, it's got the stamp, it looks, I mean, it shouldn't take much at all for a
No, but
for
just,
review.
at least just a,
Verification.
Yeah.
It's a approved plan. That's
Because I mean,
all
I
it
think
is.
you're doing that at the watershed, you know, I think, for anything, I think
We did.
they're looking at it at
Yep.
least. I mean, they're not going through the whole process of engineering it, so that cost is not there. They're looking at it and saying, yeah, okay, this is,
Okay. All right, I didn't know that, Dave. Yeah.
So do we have that, what you said is in our current motion?
So
The engineer fee for.
it
over
is,
40?
it is in letter C,
Okay.
but the fee part of it isn't. So we have to decide if that's going to be part of the motion where they're going to pay that fee for that county contracted engineer to look at it.
yes.
Yes, so that, we'd have to add that to the motion.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine.
Okay, do we have anything else to amend the motion? So we have a motion and a second. We have a motion by Phil and a second by Barry. Do we have any more discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries. Do we have anything for the good of the order?
We can't, it's not on the
I
agenda.
know, we're adjourned.
Okay. 9:47.